talk about what people say no more. Because everybody gonna fucking critique everything that you do, no matter what you do. That shit will creep into your mind, no matter if you believe it or not.
It's wasted energy.
Yeah, it's wasted energy.
What up, world? Live on that with Mr. Be Great today, Lamar King Sr. Glad you tapped in with me. Hope y'all had a fantastic week. It's Throwback Thursday. And Mr. Be Great today got some words of encouragement. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back like I never left. And y'all already know. Finna jump right on in. And the topic of discussion today is get right or get left. Like simple. Like I know it's you value yourself as a loyal person, a person with morals, value, respect, a great friend, great companion, great mother, father, whatever, right? But I challenge you today to stop pumping your brakes just for others to catch up to your vision. You're trying to slow yourself down just so they can get on board with your ideologies, your vision, your goals, your ambitions. And it's killing you. It's draining you. It's tearing you down. It's making you frustrated, giving you anxiety, maybe even depression, because you want so badly for people to see things the way you see them. And in a lot of cases, it's just not gonna work like that. I have a great friend of mine, shout out to Troy Thomas, American Hustle clothing brand, y'all go check him out. He made a status the other day, and it said, you can't win if you're playing chess and they making checker moves. It just can't be done. You can't play checkers on a chessboard.
Can't be playing no checkers on no chessboard, yo.
All right.
And that's what life is. Life is a chessboard. It's strategic moves, looking 2-3 steps ahead, 2-3 moves ahead to conquer your goal. And when you find yourself dealing with people, places, things that are making checker moves, it's time for you to move. It's time for you to get right, and it's time for them to get left. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. And I know you're a great person. I know you take pride in who you are. I know you value the friendships and the relationships that you build with people. But when they can't get on board to your way of doing things, or they can't see things from your side, or they can't express empathy, then it's time for you to move on. And you can't feel bad about it. I know you hold yourself in high regard. I know you don't want to do people wrong. But what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there on a sinking ship and wait till the ship go down before you act? Or are you going to be proactive about your life, about your goals, about your dreams, about your peace? And it's a hard, frustrating thing to do, to leave people you've known, majority of your life, to leave a toxic environment that you've grown to be accustomed to, and it's become your new normal. But deep down, you know that is not the way you do things. That's not how you operate. So you can't feel bad when you make the decision to say, you know what, enough is enough. I can no longer operate in these situations. I can no longer compromise my sanity, my peace of mind, my integrity, my character, to deal with people, places, and things that are not of me. T.D. Jakes has a famous quote that I love myself, and I've even used it in my life personally. T.D. Jakes says, if people can leave you, let them walk, which is a 100% factual statement. But let Mr. Be Great today ask you a question. Whatever you're the one that has to do the walking, what are you the one to say you have to throw your hands up and say, you know what, I'm done? Does that make you a bad person? Does that make you untrustworthy? Does that make you this monster that you decided to choose peace and your happiness and the things you want over a relationship with a person, place, or a job, or career, or what have you? Does that make you that bad of a person because you said, you know what, I can't deal with this no more? Now again, this doesn't stand in every situation. I'm not saying just go leave your wife and kids or your husband and kids and just go quit your job or just, disown your family. You got to use some common sense. But when things are not going as you envision them, as things are still being brought into your life that you don't feel that's important, are you a bad person because you chose to say, you know what, I'm done? Or you a bad person so you decided to say, I'm out of here? Mr. Be Great today is here to tell you that you are not. In all actuality, you're a smart person. You're an intelligent person, because you know you can't stand here on this sinking ship waiting for them to, patch it up, waiting for them to get it right, just for them to come up to your level or meet you halfway. And don't get caught up in beating yourself up or getting caught up in listening to what people have to say, because I promise you, when you make a decision to walk away, when you make a decision to say, I'm leaving this behind, when you make a decision that I'm no longer operating in this capacity, they're going to talk about you like a dog, because they feel like they've been hurt. Are you going to stand there or stay there and hurt yourself because you didn't have the courage to leave it behind? You didn't have the courage to tell that friend you've been knowing since the first grade that we can't hang anymore? Or are you going to feel bad that you're going to move on to a new career field or new business because this job has been so, toxic for you? Or this relationship has been so detrimental to your peace, to your happiness? Are you going to stay there and allow it to just bring you down to their level? I challenge you to walk away. I challenge you to leave them behind. I know we all love, where we, our neighborhood, our city, our hometown. But if it's not enhancing your growth, if it's not giving you some things of substance that's going to make you a better person, why are you allowing it to stay in your life? Why are you allowing it to continue to take you through these changes? Just because you're a good person? Because you quote unquote loyal? Because you down for the cause? You guys to do better than that. And we know this. And it's a hard pill to swallow when you have to leave people and places and things behind that you've always done or interacted with. It's a hard, frustrating thing to move on with your life and start interacting with, like-minded individuals. It's a hard thing to step out there on faith and open up that business instead of going to this toxic ass job that's, the acronym for job is just over broke in some cases. And I'm not saying just quit your job. I'm not saying just cut your family out. I'm not saying just leave your spouse. I'm saying you got to use the discernment to identify, is this helping me or is this hindering me? Is it enhancing my growth or is it crippling my growth? Is it causing me happiness or is it causing me frustration? And if you got to continue to question yourself and continue to ask yourself these things over and over again, no matter the situation, Mr. Be Great today challenges you to leave it alone. I challenge you to walk away from it. And here's the kicker. You don't need to give an explanation. You don't have to keep reliving that life and telling your side of the story when you're doing something for the betterment of yourself. You have to make a declaration to yourself that either these people gonna get on board or I'm getting off. Either these friends we gonna start building things together, or I ain't got time to go to the hookah lounge with you every Friday and Saturday. I ain't got time to go do Sunday brunch with you if we ain't talking about, building and uplifting. I can't keep going in this relationship if we're not talking about financial freedom and setting our kids up for generational wealth. I can't keep doing this because you have to do what's best for you. And people, it's 8 billion people in this world. 8 billion. And I promise you, there are more people out here that are on the same page, the same frequency, have the same goals, or headed in the same direction as you are, than they are not. And you have to, and again, you have to be selective, and you got to find it. You got to be, you got to have the courage to believe in yourself and believe in your decision making, because you've gotten this far in life. You've lifted yourself up from worse situations to continue to live like that. Because if a situation or a person or a place or a business or a job, if it's draining you, if it's not adding any value to you, are you going to stay on the sinking ship? Are you going to wait till it crash and burn before you make a decision? Or are you going to be proactive in your thinking? Or are you going to be proactive in your actions? Because people that truly want what you want, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to beg and persuade and plead them to do right. The people that want you in their life, they will be more than happy to get on board. Say, hey, you know what? You're right. Let's have a meeting of the minds and let's figure this thing out. Let's work together. Because I'm all about unity. I'm all about collective bargaining. But if you got a bunch of people on your team, a bunch of people within your circle that don't line up, it's time to find a new circle. If you're being held bent on your past things that you've done that you're not so proud of, because again, we're always growing, we're always evolving, we're always changing. And people oftentimes want to hold your feet to the fire on things you used to do. And when you start changing, they ain't gonna like that. But hey, are you here for a popularity contest? Are you here to be liked? You're not a social media platform. Even though we live in a social media world, you're not here for the likes. You're here for peace, happiness, security, harmony. And if people are adding more stress, they always want to bring you the tea. They're so toxic in everything they got going on. You ever talk to a person who's going through things and they just drop everything, all the stuff off on you, and they have you feeling a certain type of way. So if you got friends or family or a job that's not adding value, not adding harmony, not adding happiness, not adding abundance to your psyche, to your life, to your heart, it's time for you to let it go. Again, TD Jakes said it. It's okay. If people walk away, okay, let them walk. But what if you're the one that got to do the walking? What if you're the one that's going to make the decision and to say, you know what, I can't live like this anymore? Are you wrong? Because you chose your life over theirs? You chose your life over your friendship? Over your relationship? There's in this age, as many jobs out there that's going on, you're gonna choose this toxic job over something that you can go and build with some great people? I'm a very sociable person. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of colleagues and people I've interacted with throughout my life. And I'm here to tell you, I found out more times than not that the new people in my life are willing to express empathy and hear me out and help me get to my goals versus someone who's been knowing me since the sandbox. And I'm not saying all my friends from the sandbox are just toxic or don't care nothing about what I got going on. But what I'm saying is, you got to have a mixture of both. You can't just live life saying, well, I'm just rolling with my day ones. I'm just loyal to them. And you're going to find yourself getting the same outcome you've been getting all your life. So I challenge you to get out here and meet new people. I challenge you to leave old things behind. You are not the old you anymore. You are a new thriving person with life experiences that have gotten you to this point. My grandmother used to say all the time, you didn't get this far in life by being no dummy, Chucky. No matter the shortfalls or the shortcomings or the mishaps you've had, you overcame them. You're here now. You're under the sound of my voice. So you must have done something right. And don't allow what those people that you leave behind, or those jobs that what you leave behind, or those circles and places that you leave behind, don't allow what they say, because they're going to throw dirt on your name once you start changing. Go ahead and get yourself prepared for that. But guess what? That's none of your business. You're moving on to new circles. You're moving on to new cities. You're moving on to new jobs and careers. You're moving on to new businesses. You're moving on to new relationships, new spouses, new friends. And guess what? They know nothing about your past unless you tell them. And if you're a new person and if you're about change, the old you is dead. So stop pumping your brakes just to slow yourself down. Stop giving it a half-ass effort, because that's what your old friends was all about. The true friends sometimes will tell you things that you don't want to hear. Now, I'm not saying corrective criticism is not a part of growth, but it's someone who's always got something negative to say. A negative person will find a problem for every solution. And we know, I'm not speaking Chinese to y'all. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We've all been there. We all have a negative Nancy that has nothing good to say. And sometimes, guess what? It's your own family. And I'm not saying just cut your family off, don't have nothing to do with them, but be selective in what you share with them. If it's not about, business minded, being growth, your peace, your mindset, there's no need to even, have that conversation. But if you're all about growth, mindset, development, elevation, being great today, find people who are doing the same thing. Because you don't have to convince like-minded individuals. They're on board already. And I promise you, with the 8 billion people in this world, if you find yourself in new circles, the right people will gravitate to you. And it's okay to move on, because people will change when they're good and ready. And if you come to the table, and that's why it's good to set your standards initially, set your standards to yourself. You don't necessarily have to tell them. You tell yourself what you're going to deal with and how you're going to operate. Whether it be, whatever, relationship, business, family, friends, kids, it doesn't matter. If you're allowing them and what they do and what they say bring you down to their level, or bring you down to a lower standard, I challenge you to move on. And you can't be trying to chase people and trying to persuade them and convince them that this is how you do things. If they can't see it for themselves, move on. And when you're operating in a different way, and you're trying to continue to level up and create a new mindset, a new way of thinking, a lot of times, more times than not, you have to change your environment. You have to change your attitude. You can't stand stagnant, waiting for others to get right. Because if people in your life are causing more stress, you don't need them. The people around you should be reducing the stress in your life. They shouldn't be coming to you with all their problems and all the things they're going through. Because if you truly want to live your best life, you're going to have to leave some people behind. You're going to have to leave some places behind. You're going to have to leave some things behind. And you got to stop trying to fix the things that are wrong in your life and start focusing on the things that enhance your life. Because what you consume, it will consume you. What you tolerate, you will develop a tolerance for. It's kind of like when you first took your first drink of alcohol from the people that drink, or you first took your first toke of marijuana from the people that smoke. You was drunk as Cooler Brown, as they say, or you was high as Georgia Powell, right? But as you continue to fill your body with these toxic things, your body develops a tolerance, and it takes more for you to get that feel-good feeling. And it's just like that in relationships with others. They bring that first toxicity to your life, you automatically feel uneasy. But as they continue to shoot down your ideas, or continue to treat you like a second-class citizen, or they continue to take advantage of your kindness, you develop a tolerance for it. And then you start allowing more of it. Just like that alcohol, you got to drink more of it to get that feeling. So I challenge you to, once you have to nip things in the bud, or you would develop a tolerance for it. And that's why you have to be appreciative and thankful for all the toxic and negative people you have or had in your life, because they taught you how not to treat people. They taught you how you didn't want to be treated. And that's why you have to use those lessons or use those life experiences as a guide, as what you won't allow. And that's why you have to make a declaration in your life that either you're going to get right or you're going to get left. Because you at your deepest level are not you plus someone else. It's you. We say it so many times here on Our Must Be Great Today. That casket is a one-seater. It's not a coupe. It's a unicycle. You're by yourself. You're going to leave here by yourself. When that pastor say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, they may show up on your birthday after you've gone. They may show up on your death anniversary. But as the years go on, you won't even be a thought anymore. And here you are, basing your life, giving up your peace, your happiness, your productivity for others. Within 12 months after your death, you won't even be a thought in their mind. And when a relationship or a friendship or a business or job has ended, it's really nobody's fault. It's not time to be pointing fingers. It's just evolution. It's time for you to build new relationships, new businesses, a new mindset. It's kind of like whose fault it is that the dinosaurs are extinct. Is it the dinosaurs' fault? Is it the world's fault? No, it's just evolution. Things come to an end. But are you going to be on the receiving end of that? Or are you going to be the one being left? Or are you going to want to say, you know what, I don't want this no more in my life and I'm gone? And I know it may seem harsh. I know it may seem, heartless. But you got to do what's best for you. And if people can't get on the accord, can't get on the same page with you, I demand you to move on. So when they no longer aligned, they'll no longer line up to what you got going on, it's not time to point blame. It's not saying, oh, it's their fault. It's not time to keep reliving it in your mind by telling your side of the story. Oh, they did me so wrong. He did this or she did that. Oh, that job did me. It's not time for that. It's time for you to move on and build new situations. It's time for you to move on and build new relationships. Because reliving it in your mind and retelling your story only gives you a feeling of regret. Man, I should have been left. Oh, you keep reliving. Oh, you keep telling your side of the story. It's time for you to go on and build new things. It's time for you to go on and live life on your terms. Because I'm telling you, you'll feel so much better. You'll have so much peace. You'll have a much better outlook on life if you just subtract all the bullshit out of your life. You subtract those toxic friends who always want to come bring you the tea, who always got something to say about somebody else's situation like their life is just 100% glory. And that's why you have to, it's okay. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain your actions because you got to do what's best for you. And that's why it's okay to find new circles of friends. It's okay to find a new place to even live. Because at the end of the day, the main reason why most of you have those friends that you do have is because y'all went to the same school together. Y'all worked at the same job together. It wasn't something they seeked out from you or you seeked out from them. I challenge you to seek out new friends, seek out new places, seek out new jobs and new business and new ideas. Because if you conform to what you've always done, you already know you're going to get what you've always gotten. So don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to step out there on faith and move to a new city. Don't be afraid to quit that job and go find you. It's so many places out here hiring. You can find a job like it ain't nothing. And if it's not bringing you peace, it's not bringing you happiness, it's not uplifting you, it's not giving you a sense of integrity, character, it's time to let it go. We're not in this world to be liked. You're not a social media platform. You're not doing it for the likes. Hell, when was the last time you used social media for the true thing it was invented for? To seek out new friends, seek out new business partners, instead of just talking about what the news is talking about. Being in every comment section that you disagree with, trying to find the information on what such and such went through and what they went through. It's time for you to level up in life and elevate to the next level. It's time for you to lose that old mindset and understand that you are a great human being. And don't allow loyalty to a dead situation to make you feel alive. That's ass backwards, my people. And it's okay for you to move on with no explanation. It's okay for you to go on and build new relationships, new friendships. It's okay to forget about what you've been through. Because people come into your life for a reason, whether it be a season or a lifetime. People come into your life for a lesson or a blessing. And it's up to you to decide which one you're going to allow to continue to be in your life. It's up to you to determine how you're going to move in this thing called life. Because it's a game that's being played. And most of us are in this game because of our excuses, because we want to point fingers, because we don't have our own routine, our own way of doing things. You have a routine on your job. You have a routine when you go to school. You got a routine here when you're locked up. But we don't have a routine in our own life. We just bounce around and do things because that's how we've always done things. We deal with the same people because that's all we've always done. We're scared of no new friends. Oh, I need time to heal. Shout it, Miss Lady. Bruh, if you need healing, go to therapy. If you got some physical, go to the hospital, get bandaged up. But if you want to continue to live, move on. Life, you don't need healing for life. Life is about continuously growing. There's no time to keep dwelling on what's been happened, what's been done. If the shoe don't fit no more, it's time to go get a new pair. And again, I'm saying you gotta still use common sense. I'm not just saying jump from one thing to the next, to one thing to the next, but don't be afraid to move on just because things didn't work out in the past. Don't be afraid to try something new because you may get a new outcome. It's gonna be difficult to try something new. It's gonna be very difficult. You ever drove a 5-speed all your life and then you mess around and you get in a standard shift? You're still searching for the clutch because you're so accustomed to driving at 5-speed. So if you've been in a friendship, relationship, on the job for so many years, when you try new things, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be still looking for that clutch. But after a while, you'll understand that clutch is no longer there. You'll understand that, hey, these people don't operate like them. You'll understand that they don't wanna hit a T. They don't wanna deal with toxicity. You'll find those, I'm telling you, the right people will gravitate to you if you have the right intentions. You will. But again, what you consume will consume you. What you tolerate, you will develop a tolerance for. So if you tolerate good things, guess what? You're going to develop a tolerance for good things. If you consume great things, you will be consumed by greatness. Like, for real, don't allow these things to continue to go on in your life and expecting things to be better for you. And finally, don't allow them to spin the block on you. Don't allow them to come back around because they realize what they had, past tense. Now they want to come back and say, oh, I want to do right now. Oh, I want to, those friends. Oh man, and a lot of times friends won't admit it. They're not going to admit it. They got too much pride. And that further lets you know that you don't really need them anyway. Don't you allow them to spin the block and don't you spin the block. It's not your job to change people. It's your job to change yourself, change your environment, change your attitude, change your way of thinking. And you get out there and you go on with your life with no explanation. You ain't got to explain yourself. You ain't got to give no reason why. The only person you never give reason why is yourself. Because if they complaining all the time, bullshitting all the time, not adding any value, and not helping you win, bye-bye. And be glad that you went through that, because now you know how to operate. Now you know how not to treat people. Now you know what you won't accept. And that's all I got for y'all today. I just want to just tap in and let you know it's okay to move on. It's okay to push forward in life. It's okay to go find a new circle of friends. It's okay to go find a new city to live in. It's okay to go find a new job or career. It's okay. And be happy with it. Because at the end of the day, like I said many, many times before, that casket is a one-seater. And when it's ashes to ashes, dust to dust, you're going to be forgot about quicker than you know it. And that's it, man. For real, man. I love y'all, man. I really want to help someone. I want y'all to understand that it's okay to leave some people behind because everybody can't go with you. They can't. And you can't keep trying to hold them up and hold yourself up at the same time, too. Y'all go make sure y'all tap in with me. Mr. Be Great Today on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Great Today INC on IG. And Lamar King Sr. on Facebook. I love you all. And you already know. Be great today. Peace.
You can't really give a fuck about what people say no more. Because everybody gonna fucking critique everything that you do, no matter what you do. That shit will creep into your mind. No matter if you believe it or not.
It's wasted energy.
Yeah, it's wasted energy.